Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Corpse Party. So now we are in the chapter 3. So the new chapter is called Encounter. I hope you guys enjoy your stay here. My webcam's a little awkwardly positioned in between my camera and stuff, so hope you guys don't mind. But let's see, Tension 5. Sorry, gotta move closer to my mic. Is it a 23 or is it 33? Sigh. Mr. Yamazaki's handwriting is atrocious. Back to my favorite time. This really wasn't my day. I knocked over my alarm clock this morning, and of course, it stopped working. So, I guess we're in Satoshi's morning, because we went through the 2 girls, and then we went to the girl that died, so now we're at Satoshi. The very last pork sandwich sold out right before my eyes during lunch, and I roped into a favor when I happened upon my homeroom teacher, Mr. Yamazaki, long after the school day had ended. So now, like it or not, I was on my way to deliver some notes to Miss Yui, our homeroom TA, who has been out sick with a cold. Sorry, my reading is atrocious, I know. I'll have to make sure I apologize to Yuka later. I know how disappointed she'll be when I'm missing our shopping date. Tenjin 223, number 11. Found it. So, Satoshi is a guy that likes the blue-haired girl with this, that's into the occult thing, the president. As long as this doesn't actually read 633, number 77 anyways. I stopped and compared the memo in my hand with the apartment building in front of me. It was 2 stories tall and looked a little on the shabby side, probably about 20 years old. It doesn't seem very solid, nor was it particularly stylish or chic. It was completely unremarkable structure in every way. Apparently, apartment 207, or is it 201? I was really getting fed up with his handwriting, and from a teacher no less. In any case, it seemed certain the apartment was on the 2nd floor, so I shrugged up and startlingly narrow, steep stairs. The metal staircase was thoroughly blotched with patches of rust. Why would someone live in such a rundown apartment building? Are teachers' salaries really this low? I felt a little sorry for her, but in a way, this place kind of fit her personality. What does that mean? With the thought in mind, I turned my attention towards apartment 201. Here we are, 201. This doesn't look like Miss Yui's place. The door plate for the room nearest the stairs had a name I didn't recognize scribbled on it. I guess that means we try door number 2. Passing room 201, I continued down the narrow walkway towards the end. Wandering alone around an apartment building I'd never been to before made me feel kind of nervous. It wasn't like I was doing anything wrong, but my back was still tensed up as I maneuvered around piled up stroller, plastic toys, and bundles of newspaper. And then finally I arrived at the last door. Bingo! This was it. I breathed a sigh of relief. The doorplay in the apartment 207 read Shishimido. For an adult's handwriting especially, the letters were rounded and overly cutesy. This was Miss Yui's place, alright. What's this? I leaned in and read something written in small script in the corner of the doorplate. Beware of cat. Shouldn't that be beware of dog? That's Miss Yui for you. So what exactly does one beware a house cat? Is it even possible for a house cat to be threatening? At any rate, I confirmed beyond a shadow of doubt that this was Miss Yui's place, so my errand was nearing its end. What was Mr. Yamazaki thinking anyways? I understand taking handouts to sick classmates, but delivering class notes to the home of an absent teacher? That just seems weird. This isn't something a student should be doing. He'd said he was busy with meetings through and really needed one of his students to help him out. But was it really okay to entrust a school student with confidential class notes? Wouldn't it be kind of a problem if I were to read those? My mind kept drifting from one question to another, and I'd become accurately aware of the inherent value in these notes I held in my bag. But tempting as it was, I just couldn't bring myself to look at them. Mr. Yamazaki put his faith in me after all, and I was stronger than that. I couldn't let this get the best of me. At any rate, I was here. I should have just been able to drop off the notes and be on my way. Putting all my doubts and misgivings aside, I rang the doorbell, and then I waited, and waited, and waited some more, but there was no answer. Did I ring? I did. It did ring, didn't it?
Yui-sensei!
Mr. Yui! I rang the bell and also tried calling out, but there was no response. What should I do? Maybe she's sleeping. I don't want to wake her, but I'm a little concerned. When we'd heard that Miss Yui was saying homesick today, we were all pretty disappointed. That's why part of me was actually a little happier that I was asked to run these over to her. I figured I'd be able to check in, see how she was doing, and let everyone at school know that she was feeling better. Never occurred to me that I might not even be able to see her though. Miss Yui, Miss Yui. Nothing. Huh? Miss Yui? Hello? She was probably sleeping or out at the doctor's or something, but what if she was hurt? Were hurt? I tried opening the mail slide, peeking in. I thought maybe I could get a glimpse of the room inside. Miss Yui? I felt kind of wrong peeking into someone's house without the permission, but I was legitimately worried about Miss Yui's health, so my conscience was clear on this one. Ooh, fucking cat! Wah! Oh, it's a cat. A well-groomed cat was facing the door and staring back at me. With his head tilted slightly to the side, it let out an adorable meow. This must be the cat I was instructed to beware. But it was Miss Yui was always going on and on about her little buddy. I was pretty sure I remembered his name. You're Moret, right? No, it's Monet, I think. Oh yeah, it's Monet. What a pretty kitty you are, Monet. Miss Yui talked about her cat in class a lot, so pretty much the whole school had heard of him. So she even had some tins of cat food hidden in the shelf of the classroom, probably because she bought too much and had no room in her apartment. Here, kitty kitty, Monet, is Miss Yui home? If she's home, would you mind waking her up for me? That's a good kitty. Yeah, didn't think that would work. My shoulders sank. I felt defeated. What the hell was I doing? I closed the mail slot and stood back up. Darn, I hope Miss Yui's alright. She's probably just out now or something. Which would mean the door's locked, I'm sure. Lost in speculation, I placed my hand on the doorknob, and with a quick twist, I turned and pushed in the door, opening it easily. What? It wasn't locked? Crap, this is no good. I can't let Monet get out. Oh, God. Ahaha, your master is pretty careless, huh? Leaving the door unlocked like that. Monet's whiskers twitched as I called him out from the entranceway. What's that, you say? Her is... Haha, you and I are on the same page, Monet. Ha! Here I was talking to a cat. Was this what I'd become? What should I do? I was feeling pretty uneasy. Not only had I peeped out into someone's home, I'd walked in without a second thought. Moreover, this is where Miss Yui lived, alone. In other words, a woman's apartment. No matter how many times I reminded myself that I was here on an errand, I couldn't help feeling that I'd not only crossed the line, but leapt over it. I think you did too, Satoshi. Miss Yui? I tried calling her name one last time, but as I expected, there was no answer. So what now? I was trying hard to avoid being too nosy, but my eyes inevitably began surveying the room. The apartment entrance led out immediately into the kitchen, and beyond out there was a sliding door to some room. I could see light through the gaps. I strained my ears, but there was nothing to hear. No signs of life whatsoever. Miss Yui really must have been out. One more time, I tried calling out her one more time just to put my concerns at ease. I felt like I'd seem even more suspicious if I stayed silent. Miss Yui, it's Machida. Oh, Satoshi! Satoshi's the main character. I'm retarded. Sorry. Wrong character. Still nothing. Maybe she was asleep on the other side of the door. That's a brown-haired guy. Wait, let's just look and see then. Wait. Shaking my head furiously, I cast down the sudden impulse. There was a sudden idea, pure and simple. Entering the apartment unannounced was bad enough, but walking into all the way in, opening that door, peeking inside, that was just too much. Man, if Miss Yui happened to come home and find me standing here, I'd be pretty hot water, huh? No, scratch that. I'd be in plentiful, dense, scalding water. Monet meowed, as if in agreement. Panicking, I once again surveyed my surroundings. I almost felt like there were eyes on me, staring with disdain. But of course, nobody was there. Alright, I could just leave a note. Wondering why I didn't think of this sooner, I dug into my bag for some paper and a pen. Mr. Yamazaki asked me to come by. That should be enough, right? I'll just leave the notebook paper. Let's see, Miss Yui? Crouching in the doorway, I ran my pen across the page. I brought class notes at Mr. Yamazaki's behest. Everyone has been worried about you. Sorry about barging into your apartment. Please don't forget to lock the door from now on. As I was writing the note, I sensed a presence in front of me. Until just that moment ago, this house had no signs of human life in it, but now I could sense someone standing directly ahead. Standing and looking down at me. Fidgeting nervously, I put down my pen, raised my head slowly, and saw a white, slender ankle. Woo! Oh, fucking bitch. Shocked, I shot my head up, and there, standing before me, was Miss Yui. Big old tit Miss Yui. Miss Yui? She was looking right at me, but seemed decidedly out of sorts. Her hair looked disheveled. Her gaze was unsteady. Her pajamas were a complete disarray. She was like a completely different person from the usual kept educator we come to know and love. Oh, Miss Yui. I'm sorry to have entered your apartment without permission. Here. I stood up frantically and held out the note I had been writing, but... Miss Yui was just standing there, stupefied, with a complete vacant expression on her face. Miss Yui? I called out to her as gently as I could, but she was really dazed. She seemed almost like a ghost. Miss Yui, what happened to you? I had a sudden uneasy feeling. Worried, I walked up to Miss Yui, grabbed her shoulders, and tried to snap her out of it, shaking her. But instead, cough. Whoa! This seemed to make her cough. Blah, 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 blah. Hey, Miss Yui. These were wet, productive coughs. Spit was shooting out of Miss Yui's mouth with each one. But I frantically tried to shield my face from the spray, but my reaction time just wasn't quick enough. Ugh. I put a hand on her cheek and found a thick with a slimy film of saliva. Groan. Are you okay, Miss Yui? Ugh. Miss Yui hobbled back a little, then fell on her knees with a thud. She had completely sprawled into the hallway, moaning and groaning the whole time. Miss Yui? Wiping her splattering from my own face, I leaned over and took a better look at hers. Groan. It was bright red. Strained breathing, a stuffy nose, and visibly high fever on top of all that. She was sick as could be. I'm cold. Cold, but you're dripping with sweat. I'm cold. I thought maybe her sweat had cooled her down, but then realized her disheveled pajamas certainly weren't doing any favors. With heart pounding a mile a minute and a face red as a traffic light, I set out about buttoning her up. Miss Yui, you know who this is, right? It's Machida from school. Huh? If you're cold, you need to sleep under the covers. Otherwise, you won't get any better. She absent-mindedly extended her shaking arms like a zombie, slowly reopening her eyes and looked up at me. It was a gaze of severely fevered mind. Miss Yui? Susaka! What? Whoa! Susaka! What? Miss Yui was clinging onto me tightly. I couldn't move, I was frozen in shock, and she began to weep. You've come to me, Susaka. What? Who's Susaka? What a lovely surprise. I'm so glad you're here. Miss Yui, wait, you got the wrong person. It seemed like I wasn't getting through to her at all, and the sensation of her chest as she held me was making me virtually impossible to fight her grip. I was utterly powerless against this opponent. I never realized just before just how soft a woman's chest really was. God, am I only that weak-minded, willed? I had to remind myself that Miss Yui had me confused with someone else. Alright guys, but this is going to be the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys later.